Man, picture this. You're cruising down a rain-slicked back road at dusk, windows down, that low rumble vibrating through your chest like an old friend's heartbeat. Now imagine trading that soul-stirring growl for the sterile hum of some overpriced 2026 tech toy that feels more like a rolling subscription service than a car. Buckle up, because today, I'm spilling the beans on why these beat-to-hell luxury beasts under 20 grand don't just compete with the shiny new rides hitting lots in 26, they smoke them, leaving him choking on exhaust fumes and regret. And stick around, cause I've got one hidden gem that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about value. But I'm saving that for the end, just to keep you locked in. Hey, if you're new here on Gearhead Garageware, we ditch the wax jobs and dealer BS for real talk from the garage floor. The kind that smells like oil and second chances. That sub button and join the crew. We've been wrenching on everything from rusty relics to weekend warriors since my old man handed me a socket set back in '82. Alright, enough chit chat. Let's roll out like we're chasing taillights on Mulholland. Remember that first time you slid into a real luxury ride? Not some lease special, but a machine that wrapped you in buttersoft leather and whispered you're home with every mile. That's the magic these under 2OK warriors still pack. And in 2026, when new cars are bloated with screens that nag you more than your ex and batteries that die faster than a bad date, these old souls remind us what driving's really about. Take the 2015 Mercedes E-Classe, that silver arrow from Stuttgart, the one that turned heads when it dropped like a bomb in the mid-teens. Back then, it was Benz's love letter to the open road. Born from the ashes of the W124, that indestructible workhorse that hauled families across Europe without breaking a sweat. I snagged mine for $18,000 last summer. A low-mileage E350 with the 4MATIC grip that laughs at snow or sand. Fire it up, and that 3.5-liter V6 purrs, like a lion waking from a nap. 300 to horses that surge without the turbo lag, you'll curse in half. The 2026 crossovers. New models, they're slapping on ETIS that brakes for shadows and infotainment that crashes mid-merge. But this it's got that optional Burmeister stereo thumping jazz through wood-trimmed speakers. Heated seats that cradle you like grandma's quilt, and a ride so plush it turns potholes into suggestions. I pitted it against my buddy's fresh 2026 Kia REV6 last week in fancy electric hauler, pushing 300 miles a charge for 45 large. His thing zipped, alright, but on a twisty canyon run, the E's hydraulic steering bit back with feel you can't code into a computer. Plus, parts, dirt cheap now, and it'll outlast that Kia's warranty, easy. Why shell out for new when this Benz delivers the throne room on wheels without the king's ransom? Shift gears to something with a bit more snarl. The 2016 Lexus is 300, Toyota's stealth bomber in sedan form. Man, Lexus crashed the party in the 80s with the LS, basically stealing Benz's playbook but adding bulletproof reliability that had Detroit scrambling. It's the grandkid, sharpened up with a turbo 3-banger making 241 ponies that spool up like a rally car on caffeine. I found a blacked-out AWD example for 1.7 Kate Windscroll Turbo, 8-speed auto that shifts smoother than your favorite dive bar's whiskey pour. Leather everywhere. F-Sport gauges glowing like a cockpit at midnight, and that Mark Levinson sound system, it'll rattle your fillings with Zeppelin while you carve corners. Compare it to the 2026 Toyota Camry hybrids rolling out. Same bloodline, sure, but they're softened for the minivan crowd, guzzling electrons instead of gas, at 28 mpg combined. Off-the-wall fact, that ICE is chassis tunes from the RCF supercar, so it dances where new Luxo barges wallow. Took mine on a cross-state haul last fall. 400 miles of interstate like popcorn. No pit stops, no fuss. New rides promise autonomy, but this one's got soul raw, unfiltered feedback that makes you grin like a kid stealing cookies. Now, if you're hauling crew or craving that elevated perch, don't sleep on the 2019 Infiniti QX60, Nissan's forgotten gem, undercutting Audi Q5 South back when crossovers were exploding. 415K, you score a 7-seater with a 3.5 V6, belting 295 horses smooth as silk, towing 5K pounds without whimpering. I remember the QX50's debut in the aughts Infiniti chasing BMW's X3 vibe but with Japanese zen. This one's evolved, panoramic moonroof flooding the cabin with light, quilted leather that ages like fine wine, and a Bose setup that turns rush hour into a concert. Pitted against 2026's bloated 3-rowers like the Hyundai Santa Fe fancy screens. Sure, but starting at $35,000 with fake leather that peels like old paint, the QX60. Real wood inlays, adaptive cruise that actually works without beeping like a smoke alarm, and space for the whole tribe plus gear for a tailgate. Wild insight, it's CVT's tuned for low-end grunt, so merging feels like cheating. No downshift drama. Drove one up Pikes Peak last summer. Floated over ruts while newer rigs bottomed out. It's not flashy, but it's the quiet luxury that sneaks up and steals your heart. Alright, let's talk the underdog that punches like a freight train, the 2014 BMW 3. But here's where it gets real, folks. Last winter, I test drove a 2026 Mitsubishi Exerce prototype they snuck into a dealer lot. Yeah, that boxy little crossover buzzing about town, promising hybrid efficiency and urban swagger for around 28 grand when it drops stateside early next year. Cute, right? 1.5-liter mill with e-boosts, hitting 50 mpg whispers, 12-inch screen for your TikToks, and drive modes that swap from snow to sand like a video game. Release, slated for Q1 26, features like 360 cams and wireless charging to wow the influencers. But worth it? Hell no, not when these used luxuries lap it twice. The Exerce ride's competent, sure, but it's got that plasticky vibe, like fast food wrapped in foil. My E-Class, it swallows highways whole, with presence that turns heads at stoplights. The Exerce might save gas, but it'll never whisper secrets through the vents or corner, like it's got something to prove. New cars like this are built for algorithms, not asphalt poetry. Reliable, maybe, but soulless in a world already numb from screens. And now, that hidden gem I dangled like a carrot, the 2011 Acura RDX, Honda's sleeper SUV. Turbo 2.3, pushing 240 with SHAWD that claws corners like a cat on carpet. For 14K, it's loaded. Nav that doesn't glitch, else stereo thumping like a club, and a super handling system from the NSX playbook. History: Acura dropped it to battle Germans head-on, and damn if it didn't win hearts with reliability that laughs at repair bills. Drove one through the Smokies turbo spools, silent, then bam thrust like a slingshot, against the Exerce night and day. This RDX feels alive, not assembled. So as the sun dips low and we're winding down this ribbon of blacktop, ask yourself, in a world chasing tomorrow's hype, why not grab yesterday's thunder? These under 2OK legends aren't just cars, they're time machines, badges of battles won, invitations to feel the wheel like your granddad did. What's your ride story? Drop it below, hit like if this fired you up, sub for more garage gospel, and share with that pal who's eyeing a lemon. Drive safe, stay greasy next time. We're cracking open muscle myths. See ya on the flip.